How's it going, YouTube? You know, you ain't gonna believe this. And I'm talking to you too, Instagram. But when I first saw the kid doing the Rocky series, I held him to the camera, I looked at him in front of this camera and said, this kid is gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid is gonna grow up to become somebody better than anybody ever knew. And he started out small and got better. It was great. Just watching him record every day was like a privilege. Did the time come for him to be his own man and take on the world? And he did. But somewhere along the line, he changed. He stopped being himself. He lets other movie reviewers stick a finger in his face and tell him he's no good. But when things got hard, he started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. I will tell you guys something that you already know. The media ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and discouraging place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody will ever hit as hard as the media. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, I told the kid, if he knows what he's worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But he's got to be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying that you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Trollers do that and that ain't you. You're better than that. How's it going to everybody out there in the media on YouTube and Instagram or whatever end you prefer? I hope you enjoyed that motivational preach by Mr. Rocky Balboa. And speaking of which, that is the review for today. It is the sixth and final film in the Rocky franchise. In the Rocky film series. It's not the end of the franchise, but it is the last Rocky movie. So, before I begin, once again, you already know the drill. Like, share, subscribe. Keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on sharing. I know most of you are sharing. Otherwise, I mean, those 1,000 views don't just appear by itself. I know you guys are sharing. Once again, I appreciate it. Keep on liking, keep on sharing, keep on subscribing. When you see a new face, keep telling people about me. I appreciate the support that I am getting right now. Let's begin. Now long retired, Rocky runs a Philadelphia eatery named after his beloved wife, Adrian Balboa, who he mourns the loss of. Yearning to recapture a bit of his glory days, he plans to re-enter the ring for a few low-profile local matches, something close, something in Philadelphia. Although that changes when Rocky accepts the challenge to fight the world's reigning heavyweight champion, Mason "The Line" Dixon. Now, how do you continue a story of Rocky Balboa that seemed to end on a prompt note in Rocky 5? Like it seemed to end so well. The answer is by doing the same thing, but placing him in a society that is ahead of his time. Taking place 16 years after the last fight with Tommy Gunn, we finally get to see Rocky straight up retire for the first time in the saga. I know I have said this time and time again throughout this binge-watching series, but this is the first time he has never fully committed to fighting in a long time, or have even thought about fighting. This is until he feels something in his personal basement, because he really mourns for the loss of Adrian, who has stuck with him, who has been his biggest fan throughout. And then now that she's gone through cancer, he just has to let that out. And so he just has to let that anger out in some form or fashion. And there's no better way to do that than in the ring. He gets approached by folks representing a new heavyweight champion, but is getting asked rather than forced like he did previously. Rocky 6 feels like it works as a comeback tale, just as much of a good old-fashioned Rocky movie. It mostly dates back to the first Rocky movie with the dilemmas he faces throughout Philadelphia and the people within it, and how he's being recommended in a big fight but considered sticking to local fights for now. But times have changed. This is 2006. We last saw him in 1990, and Philadelphia is much worse than he knows it. People are more rude, people are more destructive, people are different. But the spirit of what makes this franchise so great is what causes Rocky to come out of retirement and make a comeback one last time. One last time. This won't be the last time we see Rocky, but this will be the last time we see him fight. He does this because he is a fighter. That is what he is. That is his fire. The training montage that it brings also roots back to the first one, the sequence of workouts, including the punching of the raw meat. The kid has always said that the character moments in the movies in these films are nothing but realistic and compelling, whether in the ring or out of the ring. In the last movie, we see Rocky and his son, Junior, have a solid dynamic with the son, not only being played by my real-life son, Sage, but how much of Rocky you see when you look at Junior. In Rocky 6, he has grown up, Junior has grown up and living his life. However, there is just one thing that is holding him back. It is my decision to take the fight against the new heavyweight champion. This all culminates in the best character moment throughout all 6 of my movies. We see me give a motivational speech to my son that has not only pumped him up, but pushes everybody else who listens to rise up. I know all of those subscribers and all of those followers have been pumped up by this speech. But if you haven't seen this speech, or if you haven't seen the 6th Rocky movie, I recommend you go find it. I guarantee this is something that Sterling he's went to whenever he's had a bad day at work, and it teaches him to get pumped up again and to get motivated and to be inspired. But the film is slow with the movie leading up to the titular boxer's fight at the end. Again, this touches back on the first Rocky movie where the character moments come first and foremost, and the fighting and the training come at the last minute. Now, the loss of my wife, Adrian, has made it hard for Rocky, especially with the support he gets from an old friend, little Marie, who, if you would have to pay attention to the first Rocky, he was the little girl that said, "Screw you." She does this, she supports me, and she is a kid now, so she helps, she inspires me, she encourages me to let my fire come out. I will say that the heavyweight adversary in this one, Mason Dixon, is not as much of a memorable contender like some of the other ones like Drago or Clubber. But Mason Dixon is played by real-life boxer Antonio Tarver, which makes the opponent feel repetitive since this was the case with Tommy Gunn in Rocky V. Once again, Rocky V kind of takes similar strides that Rocky VI does as far as who he's fighting and the status of the protagonist. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 77% score. Rocky Balboa is a movie that truly lives up to its name. It is a story centering around why we love the heavyweight protagonist. This comeback tale ranks 3rd best for me in the series. So, I know most of you are asking, Sterling, what is your favorite Rocky movie? I will say my favorite so far is 5. I love 5, I love 4 second, and I love this 3rd. The last 3 are my top 3 favorites. Like they were all good, but I'm saying the last 3 Rocky films are the best. So I will give this one 8.9 SOs out of 10. So that is my review on Rocky Balboa. You guys can let me know what you think about Rocky 6, about this docudrama in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys next week on Way Back Wednesday with Creed. See you later.